My beloved child, let your heart grow still in this moment, for I want you to recognize that my nearness is not a distant promise, but a reality touching your life day by day. I do not come as a vague idea, nor do I stand in the heights above, looking upon you with cold distance. I draw near to you with the love of a father, with a living presence that enters every breath, every heartbeat, every quiet step you take. There are times when you think you have been forgotten amid so much noise and change, but I have been there, silently watching over you. I know every smile you tried to give, though weariness remained within, every tear that fell in the night, every question you did not dare speak to anyone. No part of your journey lies outside my sight. Before you knew you needed to be upheld, I had already come near. Before you recognized your weakness, I had already prepared grace. Before you opened your mouth to ask, my mercy had already leaned down toward you. You were not formed by accident, nor are you a drifting life without purpose. Before you existed in your mother's womb, I knew you with deep love, placed within you a unique mark, and appointed you to walk in the light I had prepared. But you often forget this when criticism, failure, limitation, and old shame sound too loudly. You look at what you have not yet done and think you lack value. You look at others and wonder why you are not stronger, more successful, more Hagen. My child, those voices are not the final truth about you. In my eyes, you are not defined by what you have lost, by the wounds you carry, or by the times you stumbled. You are a work I love, one I still call by name, a child I have never released. I see in you good seeds that you yourself have not yet recognized, a beauty still being refined, and a light that can shine in dim places. When I draw near, what I seek in you is not a perfect appearance, but a heart that knows how to open the door. Do not think you must repair yourself until no stain remains before you dare to receive me. If you could make yourself whole by your own power, you would not need my embrace. I come to touch what is broken, to soften what has grown hard, to lift what has become exhausted, and to turn the scattered pieces of life into a vessel of grace. True preparation is not found in pretending to be strong, but in being honest before me. When you say that you need me, the door has already begun to open. When you admit that you cannot carry everything alone, peace has already begun to enter. When you stop hiding the dark corners and allow me to shine upon them, healing has already begun to move within you. I know well the invisible burdens you are carrying. I see the things you have never told, the words that wounded you still echoing in memory, the times you tried to appear all right so no one would worry. I also see the moments when you looked for your worth in the eyes of others, waiting for a word of recognition so you could feel that you mattered, then becoming saddened when their indifference made you doubt yourself. But my beloved child, your worth does not rest in the approval of the world, nor is it lost because of rejection. You belong to me, and that is enough for you to stand firm. My love does not rise and fall according to your performance. My grace is not withdrawn when you are weak. My mercy does not run dry when you stumble. I do not love you because you are always right. I love you because you are my child, and I am teaching you to return to your true identity. There are times when you wonder whether I am truly present in your ordinary life. You look around at a familiar room, repetitive work, small duties, unfinished relationships, and think that all of it is too ordinary for me to care about. But you are mistaken. It is precisely in those ordinary things that I reveal my nearness. I am in the morning light touching the window, in the gentle breeze that soothes a tense day, in a timely word of concern, in unexpected peace amid anxiety. I am in the moment you choose to hold back a harsh word. When you offer kindness, though your heart is tired. When you are honest, though no one is watching. These small things resound before me, because they reveal a heart learning to live in my presence. But you must also remain watchful, because the things that distract you are always seeking a way to come between you and me. There are anxieties that seem reasonable but quietly occupy all the stillness within you. There are passing desires that promise joy but afterward leave emptiness behind. There are voices that make you believe, I am distant, that you must carry everything by yourself, that prayer is only words falling into empty space. Do not let those words rule your mind. Return to the truth. I am nearer than you think, more patient than you know, and more faithful than anything you have ever leaned on. When you keep your heart in truth, darkness cannot so easily lead you away. When you call my name in moments of weakness, you will find a gentle strength lifting you to stand again. I also want you to be wise in the connections around you. There are people placed in your life to encourage you, support you, and help you grow in love and truth. But there are also influences that weaken the flame within you, cause you to compromise, and make you forget that you are called to live in the light. I do not tell you to despise or reject anyone with a hardened heart. I teach you to protect what is precious that I have placed within you. Do not trade the peace I give merely to be accepted. Do not follow the crowd if you know that path draws your heart away from me. You may be different, and that difference is not something to fear. It is a sign that you are being led by a higher light. So, when I ask whether you are ready, I do not ask to frighten you, but to awaken within you the desire to be made new. Are you willing to open the door for me to enter the rooms that are still locked? Are you willing to give me the worries you have held for too long, the doubts that have exhausted you, and the memories that have clouded your vision? The preparation I desire in you is not an outward ritual, but a tender heart, a will that knows how to obey, and a life ready for me to rearrange. When you lay down what is heavy, you do not lose yourself, you recover freedom. When you open your heart to receive me, you do not enter pressure, you enter deep rest. My beloved child, receive my nearness as a gift for today. Do not wait until everything is perfect before living in my presence. Begin in the middle of unfinished things, while your heart still holds many questions, while you are still learning to trust. I am not afraid to step into the untidy places within you. I am not afraid to touch the areas that still hurt. I come to renew, restore, illuminate the path, and walk with you. When you receive me, you will no longer have to walk alone. I will be the breath that lifts you, the light before you, the strength when you are weak, and the joy when you are weary. And from today onward, remember deeply that my visitation is not far away, I am near, gently knocking at your heart, calling you into a life full of purpose, peace, and love that never runs dry. My beloved child, the joy I am sowing within you today is not born from days that are completely calm, but grows out of the very storms you have passed through. Do not think true joy is something fragile, existing only when all circumstances are favorable. When the body is healthy, when the road is smooth, when people understand you, and every door is open. No, my child, the joy I give is deeper than that. It is like a rock that has stood through many fierce rains, still quietly enduring through time. It is like a sprout rising after the soil has been overturned, proving that even where everything seemed barren, life can begin again. The dark days did not destroy you as you once feared. In my hands, they became the place where I quietly trained, cultivated, and prepared you to taste a joy with depth, foundation, endurance, and a light not easily extinguished. Look back and see that suffering first taught you humility. There were times when you thought you could control everything, arrange the future, and protect yourself from every disruption. But then came days when you touched the limits of your own strength, when energy gradually ran out, when answers had not yet come, when prayer seemed suspended in silence, when everything you once held tightly suddenly became fragile. It was then that you learned to bow low, not in humiliation, but in holy awakening. Humility does not take away your value, it returns you to your true place before me, so that you may know you do not need to master everything in order to have peace. You only need to remain in my hands, and from the soft soil of humility, I sow within you the seed of restored joy. Suffering also taught you compassion. Before you passed through long nights, perhaps you did not fully understand the silence of one who is hurting. Before you trembled in helplessness, perhaps you did not know how deeply an unthinking word could wound another person. But when you yourself had waited, worried, and hidden tears behind a smile, you began to look at others with gentler eyes. You no longer rush to judge their weakness. You no longer take lightly their sighs. You know how to sit beside the weary without needing to explain everything. You know how to offer a timely word of comfort, a peaceful presence, and a touch filled with tenderness. And I tell you that such compassion is one of the most beautiful flowers growing from the soil that once knew pain. From there, your joy is no longer a closed joy. It does not only lighten your own heart, but becomes cool water flowing to those who are dry. When you smile at the despairing with a smile that has passed through tears, that smile carries a different strength. When you tell someone that there is still hope, those words are not empty, because they are born from the very journey through which I have led you. When you embrace someone trembling in pain, they can feel that you are not speaking from a distant place, but from a heart I have healed and made tender. For this reason, what you once thought was only a wound has now become a vessel I use to pour comfort into many. Suffering also taught you quiet strength. Before, you may have thought strength meant never falling, never trembling, never crying, never needing anyone to lift you. But I have taught you that true strength is not loud like drums in the street. Often it is quiet, like a small flame still burning in the cold night. That strength is when you still speak to me before you can see a way out. It is when you still choose what is right, though your heart is tired. It is when you rise one more time after you thought you could not. It is when you refuse to let darkness define your tomorrow. This strength does not come from proud striving, but from knowing how to rely on me, letting my grace lift you in every breath. All these lessons come together and become the foundation of restored joy. Without humility, joy can easily become self-satisfaction. Without compassion, joy can easily be kept only for yourself. Without quiet strength, joy can easily be shaken when trials return. But when joy is set upon the things I have formed within you, it is no longer a passing emotion that comes and goes with the weather of circumstance. It becomes a house with a deep foundation, strong pillars, and a roof of peace. The storm may still blow, but that house does not easily collapse, because I have built it upon truth, upon mercy, and upon my enduring love for you. My beloved child, do not despise the marks left along your journey. They are not proof that you failed, but signs that you have been kept. There are cracks that once made you ashamed, but in my hands, they are filled with grace and become part of the unique beauty of your life. Like a broken vessel restored with precious gold, your life does not lose worth because it is once cracked. Rather, those very places reflect light in a special way. When others see that you still stand firm, still remain gentle, still know how to give thanks, they will recognize that darkness does not have the final word. I am the one who continues writing your story. Therefore, do not let the world define you by the pain you once endured. The world may call you weak, but I call you one who has been strengthened. The world may say you have been left behind, but I call you one being prepared at the right time. The world may look at your falls and draw conclusions about your life, but I look at your rising and call it victory. When you live according to what I say about you, restored joy will become a mark that cannot be hidden. It will appear in your peaceful eyes, in your gentle words, in the way you are no longer dragged by the past, and in the way you choose love though you have once been wounded. That joy is not only for today, it also prepares you for the days ahead. It will be a lamp when the road grows dim, a song when your heart needs lifting, and a new source of strength when you must keep sowing in a season where fruit has not yet appeared. Each morning when you wake, learn to give thanks for the breath still within you, for another day I still open, for my hand still guarding what you cannot see. Each evening when the day closes, place everything that has passed into my hands, both what you accomplished and what remains unfinished. The one who lives in gratitude will recognize that joy is not only one bright moment, but a quiet and enduring stream that nourishes you through every circumstance. Imagine your life as a piece of music in my hands. The low notes of the past were not written to ruin the melody, but to give today's song greater depth. If there were only high notes, the music would lack stillness. If there were only light and no passage through night, you would not fully understand the beauty of dawn. I am the one who knows how to weave together the things you do not understand, who knows how to use even the offbeat measures, the silences, and the seasons of tears to create a new song. When you entrust the music of your life to me, you will see that no chapter is wasted, no tear forgotten, and no long night lies beyond the redeeming power of my love. Therefore, if trial knocks at the door again one day, do not quickly think that your joy will disappear. The restored joy I give does not depend on the sky always being clear. It has taken root deeper than circumstances. It is like an underground stream still flowing beneath the earth, even when the surface is dry. It is like a flame glowing beneath the ashes, waiting for the breath of grace to burn brightly again. You can be sad and still not despair. You can be tired and still not give up. You can fail to understand everything and still trust. This is the beauty of joy that has been tested. The joy I place within you, so that nothing can easily steal it away. So walk as one who carries joy. Not a noisy joy meant to prove you are all right, but the deep joy of someone who knows they have been kept by me through many seasons. Let your words bring life. Let your actions sow hope. Let your presence become a place where others feel comforted. One smile from you can brighten someone's dark day. One silent prayer from you can become a seed of change. One embrace, filled with compassion, can speak what words cannot express. When you live this way, joy is no longer only something you receive, but a legacy you leave behind. My beloved child, engrave this deeply. From now on, your life is no longer defined by pain, but by the joy I have restored within you. You are not only someone who survived the storm, you are someone who has learned to sing in a new dawn. You are no longer imprisoned in the old story. You are stepping into a new chapter written by me with mercy. Let that joy become the heartbeat within you, the breath of each day you live, the light in the way you see life, and the gift you offer to the world. I am the one who has turned your tears into springs, darkness into dawn, and what seemed like loss into soil that bears fruit. And I am still continuing to do this in you, for you, and through you. My beloved child, there are moments in life when familiar peace suddenly becomes fragile, like a small lamp trembling before an invisible wind. You may think nightfall is only the time for the body to rest after a long day, that the quiet room holds only breath, heartbeat, and the softened darkness around you. But, my child, I want you to understand that life is not made only of what your eyes can see or your hands can touch. Beneath the ordinary surface of the days, there are hidden movements, quiet influences seeking to enter your thoughts, emotions, household atmosphere, and inner peace. Therefore, I do not call you to live in fear, but I call you to live awake, because the child who is awake will know how to close the doors that do not belong to the light and open the heart wide to my holy presence. You are often accustomed to the visible world, the home, the room, work, voices, objects, and the things that come and go before your eyes. But there is another depth you must not take lightly, where light and darkness continually stand against one another. When your heart suddenly feels heavy without a clear reason, when a peaceful family becomes easily stirred into conflict over very small things, when sleep is disturbed by lingering unrest, do not rush to see everything only as coincidence. Sometimes the cause lies in fatigue, pressure, or wounds that have not yet been cared for. But there are also times when I want you to pause and discern more deeply, to ask what is being invited into your living space, what is being nourished in your heart, and what is occupying the place that should belong only to light, peace, and truth. The world today often uses many explanations to make you forget watchfulness. People may call something a custom, a game, an aesthetic, a trend, or a harmless moment of fun, and therefore no longer ask what atmosphere it carries, where it directs the heart, and whether it sows life or heaviness into your household. But my child, not everything dressed in cheerfulness is truly harmless. There are symbols, words, sounds, images, and habits that carry a hidden message. If you receive them without discernment, they can dull the sensitivity within you, like a window forgotten open during a rainy night. No one needs to intentionally invite the water in, if even a gap remains. The room can still become cold and wet. Your life is the same. Small openings, if unrecognized, can gradually steal your peace. I remind you of this, not so that you will look at everything with suspicious eyes, nor so that you will live tense before every small detail of life. I am a merciful Father. I do not sow panic within you. I teach you discernment so that you may become freer, steadier, and protected from things decorated with an attractive appearance but lacking life within. A beautiful gift still needs to be considered. Where does it come from, and where does it lead you? A crowded celebration still needs to be asked, whether afterward your heart is lifted up or pulled down. A familiar habit still needs to be brought into the light to see whether it draws you nearer to me or slowly away from purity. When you know how to ask such questions, you do not become weak, you become wise. Remember that compromise often does not arrive as a great storm at the beginning. It usually begins very small, with a little ease, one overlooked moment, one pleasure left unexamined, one object placed in the home without understanding its meaning, one word repeated without knowing what it is, sowing into your atmosphere. Darkness rarely asks you to surrender everything at once. It only seeks a small corner to stand in, and from there it makes your heart heavy, your mind confused, your unity weakened, and draws you away from prayer, peace, and my gentle voice. Therefore, do not despise small things. A small crack in a foundation, if left unrepaired, can cause an entire house to lose stability over time. A small opening in the inner life, if not brought into the light, can become an entrance for chaos. My beloved child, The place where you live is not only a place to eat, rest, and carry out daily life, it is also a space where I desire my peace to reign. Your family is not merely a group of people living under one roof. It is a place where love, forgiveness, prayer, and truth must be guarded like a holy flame. If you allow dark things to take up space through carelessness, that atmosphere will gradually become heavy. But if you know how to invite my light in, remove what does not belong. Speak words of blessing instead of bitterness. Pray instead of worry. Forgive instead of nourishing resentment. Then your very home will become a place where peace is restored. Darkness cannot remain where light is continually kindled. I also want you to understand that awareness is the first step of restoration. No one can close a door while insisting it was never opened. No one can clean a room while denying the dust covering everything. When you courageously look at the things that make your life heavy, not to condemn yourself, but to give them to me, then the light begins to work. I do not want you to sink into guilt over what you once did not understand. I do not want you to fear because of times when you unintentionally compromised. I want you to return, recognize, renounce, cleanse your living space, cleanse your words, cleanse your habits, and place me back at the center, wherever I am invited in with sincerity. That place will begin to be renewed. You may need to let go of a few familiar things, and that release will not always be easy. There are objects that once pleased your eyes, activities that once made you feel you belonged to the crowd, and habits that were once considered normal in your family or society. But my child, not everything popular is pure, and not everything accepted by the majority brings peace. You are not called to follow every current, but to walk in the light. When you let go of something that does not belong to me, you do not lose true joy. You are making room for a deeper joy. When you close an old door, you do not become poor. You are protecting the treasure of peace I have placed within you. Therefore, learn to ask yourself before every choice, does this make my heart more pure? Does it bring my family closer to peace? Does it honor what is good? Does it make me more sensitive to my voice? Ask not with a fearful spirit, but with a love for holiness. One who loves the light will not regret leaving darkness. One who treasures peace will not keep what sows disorder. One who knows they belong to me does not need to borrow joy from sources that leave the inner life dry. And when you are unsure, draw near to me in prayer. I will teach you discernment, not through heavy coercion, but through gentle clarity within your heart. My beloved child, I do not leave you alone in this watchfulness. I am the one who shelters you, the light before you, the fortress around you, and the wisdom that teaches you to recognize what should be kept and what should be released. When you feel the atmosphere in your home becoming heavy, invite me in through sincere prayer. When you feel your heart being pulled down by fear, call my name and return to the truth. When you recognize a habit that no longer fits, have the courage to leave it. When you discover a door that has been opened, close it through repentance, through a new decision, through placing my light in that place. You do not need to panic, because my power is greater than every darkness. You only need to stay awake, obey, and allow me to cleanse the places that need cleansing. So from today onward, guard your home, your words, your eyes, the things you receive, and the habits you nourish. Let your life become a place where light dwells, where peace is kindled, where love is stronger than fear, where truth is stronger than deception, and where my presence is honored above every passing pleasure. Do not open the door to what draws you away from me, even if it comes in a cheerful or familiar form. Open the door wide to me, and I will enter. Renew the atmosphere around you. Heal what is cracked, restore rest within your family, and teach you to live as a child of the light. When you walk in this watchfulness, darkness will no longer have a place to hide, because my light within you will grow ever brighter, more enduring, and full of power.